Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lydia with Raindrop Lila, and today I'm going to show you guys how I made these little tags. Okay, so first off I'm going to show you my digital kit. I designed this kit for my Serenity journals that I'm working on right now, and I decided to make it available in my Etsy shop. And so I'm going to show you guys the Faith collection first. So these are black and white printables. I really love how versatile this black and white digital is because you can print it out in white, but you can also print it and have it coffee dyed, tea dyed. You can also do avocado dye for that pink color, and also I've also done a blue dye with just some blue food coloring. So this, I'm just showing you how it comes in black and white. Okay, so I also have this set here with tickets. So this first set is, this first couple of set is the Faith collection, Serenity collection. And so you'll see this is words. These are like titles, like trusting Lord, anything that has to do with peace and rest. I kind of put together just some sentiments and titles to use in a journal. So like a prayer journal. And then I have this poem. This was kind of my inspiration for my journals and for this kit. So that's why this kit is called the Serenity Collection. And then I have this sheet of tags. And so I love how versatile this black and white kit is. I feel like I can do so much with it. And for my Serenity Collection digitals, I just printed these out and I kind of used, I'll show you how I used them. So this one is an add-on kit, and this is, I made some tickets. I love them in black and white because you can print them like this for a really clean look. And you can actually add color either with watercolors. I have watercolor pencils that I've used on these, and it's pretty fun to just go in and color them in. You can also use markers. I've used chalks before for these. And you have this, and they're basically like little cards, and you can make these into tags. I printed these on plain paper, but I've also printed on cardstock, so you can do either. A lot of times I like to print tags on cardstock unless I plan to layer them. If I plan to layer them, or then I'll do a lighter paper so that my paper is not too thick. And then part of this collection, I also included these, just some letters. Oops, let's turn it around. So basically this is just some script paper. And again, I think I have them all upside down. Okay, so I love printing these on coffee dyed paper for that vintage look. But this time I also printed them in black and white, just on white paper, so that I can use them in my Serenity journals, which was basically inspired by some blue and white wallpaper. And so I knew I wanted a lot of white in this journal. So I have like whites, creams, and some tea stain papers. And here we have this flower. And this looks so good. Like if you think about it, when it closes, you fold it over. And so you would see half of it on one page. I think it's so pretty, the way it just extends. And then here's some more script. And then I actually made one that is half, so that when you fold it, you have the whole floral pattern on one side, and then you have this document on the other. Now I've also tried printing these on tracing paper, and they come out really nice on tracing paper and also on scribble paper, like a kid's drawing paper. It's really like newspaper, like a newsprint. And here's that one. Okay, here's a document. And then I also have these coin envelopes, and I will show you guys how these look once they're folded up. I have these guys. I think they came out so pretty. I love the flower. I think they look so good in black and white, and I think they'll look really good on coffee dyed paper too. They have such a nice vintage feel to them. And so here I printed this one on just some vintage paper pad, and it's super thin. I wanted to see how it would look, and I think it looks so nice. It just has like a vintage look. And then this is avocado paper. Okay, here we go. So this is avocado paper, and you can see it's like a mauve. So I love this one too, even though I'm not working with pinks right now, but I love that. I think it came out so good. And then I picked up some scrapbook paper, and this is like a blue. I don't know if you can see it. Let me put some white paper onto it. That way you can see it's a very pale blue. And so basically if you have like a muted design, like a really simple pattern, and if it's really light, it will print out really nicely on there. So that's why I wanted to try this one. And then here's another one that I did the same thing with. And again, it has a really light design. And so I just printed on top of that. And I really love the way it came out. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to start. I'm actually going to work with these guys now. And so basically I want to show you guys how I did this. These are those little cards, and I knew I didn't want to make them too thick or bulky, so I used just regular paper, but I wanted to layer them up. So I actually added some fabric layers in here, and also this could be tracing paper, but I ran out of tracing paper, so I'm actually using, no, this is, let's see. Yeah, okay, so basically this is tracing paper, and I ran out of tracing paper, so I just pulled out my wax paper, and it's just a little bit thicker than tracing paper, but I love the texture of it, and I love the way it tears. It's got like such a nice soft edge when you tear it, and it's a little bit sheer, and I think it adds, it's almost like a wrinkly sound to it. So I love just having the layers. So basically I have some paper. This one is actually a pale blue paper. And so I have a pale blue dyed paper, a piece of fabric. This here is the wax paper. And then I have my little card on top. And then I have this little bow that I sewed on there. And I think they look so cute. I just love them. Now, some of them you can cut off, you can leave the black edge on them depending on what you're looking for. I kind of wanted a softer edge, so I tore this one, and I tore this one. I think I'm going to tear these ones, but I also like them. I just cut off the black edge because I want them to look very light. My journals are, that these are going in, or I'm kind of trying to keep a really feminine, light, airy look to them. So I cut the black off, but I'll probably have some tags just like this with the black edge. So it's not like there's something wrong with it. I'm just going for some different looks. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I got my ruler. I could use the ruler to tear, but I'm actually folding this. I guess I could just try this out here. So I'm just going to use this. Obviously, a metal ruler will work better for you, but I left my other rulers downstairs, so I'm just going to use this. Okay. So now I'm doing 2 layers because I think on some of them, the back layer, I'm going to use regular paper. I can use cardstock, but for now, I think I want to just use just some regular white paper as the back. I just don't want it to be too bulky because the journals are already getting a little bit chunky. So I'm gonna kind of consider what type of weight I'm using for the papers now that I use. So basically, I'm just gonna fold it over, and I'm gonna fold it over again. And then I'm gonna just tear it. So I like tearing. Okay, I like tearing my paper because it gives it a nice soft look to the edges. And so okay, so I am going to start with these guys. So now see, I don't like this part of it, but I do like the torn part. See how that's a softer edge than the part that is torn with that serrated edge. So I like just the torn part. I mean, it's very subtle, but you know. Okay. I'm just gonna fold it here. So basically, when you fold it down, that really seems to help with the tearing. Okay. Okay, so I like that edge. I feel like it's a little bit big, so I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so I like that better now. And I also have this one that I got ready earlier. And let's see. I'm gonna grab just another piece of paper. So it's just nice to have like a couple layers. I think it'll be really pretty. And so that way you can also lift some of these layers up and do a little bit of journaling if you want. You can add like just a sentiment, a thought, a short sentence, or even a date. Let's see. And so then I have this fabric. Okay, let's see. I have this fabric here. And I love, if you watch my videos or if you follow me, you'll know how much I love the Frey That frayed edge is so, it's so pretty. I just love it. And so what I'm gonna do is, let's see, I'm gonna find a corner. So basically you just put a snip, so basically you just snip it, and then you can tear it. And that'll give you a nice frayed edge. And then, let's see, it's like about there. Again, I'm gonna add a little snip here. Okay, so there we go. Now you can actually just staple it if you wanted to. Okay, so I have this, and then I want to put this on there too. I'm not sure how this is going to work out today because it's evening, and so it's a lot darker than I expected it to be. So we'll see. I might have to refilm this one. Okay, so what I want to do, so what I did was I cut a little strip of this, and so I'm just tying it a little bit like that, and I think I'm going to try to figure out where I want it. I'm going to do this one first. I think this one's easier. I think I like that one up there. And so what I'm doing here is, I need paper for the back. Let's see, maybe I'll do this one. Okay, I'm just going to do blue cardstock on this one. And so I am going to sew this on here. Now I'm leaving it loose because I'm going to thread, I'm going to put my needle through the back of it. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I have my little knot on the end. And so just to hide that knot, not that it matters, I don't always hide it, but in this case I am. So basically you just poke it through the end. Actually, it doesn't have to be this complicated. You can actually just tie it afterwards, after you thread it. But anyways, so what I'm doing is I'm just gonna kind of, you just poke it in and out. Let's see if, okay, see, so all I'm doing is poking it in and out, just to kind of secure it on there. Again, you can totally use a staple. You can totally use a stapler, or even just poke a hole right there and you can tie it off in there. But I like to change things up. Sometimes I will sew things on there. Sometimes I'll, punch a hole or use a stapler. And so this time I just decided to sew it on here. So yeah, that's the cool thing about little projects like this. You can change them up and you get different looks. Okay. So you just go like that. Or maybe I'm going to make them smaller and just, let's see. Oops, okay. Okay, so now I'm going to fray it just a little bit to soften those edges. And there we have it. You know what? I think I want to make this one a little bit shorter. Okay, I think that's cute. So you can do a bow instead like I did with that one. Okay, so now I got this one that I want to do. Now I'm thinking, what do I want to do with this one? Okay, so I'm thinking of doing a ruffle. I don't know if it's going to look good, but I'm going to try it. Okay, so I'm going to tie off my end. Just do a double knot. Oops. Okay, so I just did a double knot. Okay, so I love this braid. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to do like a little ruffle. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but might as well try, right? So sometimes you just have to try things out and don't feel like you have to use it just because you tried it out. Although you can just leave it and use it, but sometimes I'll make ruffles, and if I decide I don't want to use them, I will just set them aside, and I could use them for another project. It's almost like you're building supplies, I suppose. So I'm just doing little folds, and I'm just I'm just poking the needle back and forth to make these little ruffles. Probably the hardest part of it is getting it tangled. Okay. I don't know if I'm off on the camera, if I'm on camera or not, so I have to keep checking. So again, I'm just going in and out of that I'm doing it like a little fold, and then I'm putting my needle up through that fold to kind of keep it together, and then I'm going to go back down to hold it together. And that should be the last one. Sometimes the tinier the ruffles, I think they're just so pretty and delicate if they're really tiny, but it also takes a lot more work if they're so tiny, teeny tiny. Okay, so this, let's see how that looks. I guess you could put it up at the top or the side. I kind of like it at the top, I think. Okay, so now I want to make sure I'm poking through all the layers so that they're all secured. And here's the thing, you don't want all the layers perfectly even. If they kind of stick out just a tad, although I think that one's sticking out just a little bit too much. Maybe I'll turn it over. But having them stick out just a little bit is actually good because you want that. You want those edges to stick out. So yeah, I think I like that better. That looks a little bit more balanced. Okay, so I'm checking. I want the messier, the back side of the ruffle up against the paper so that I can have the neater side up. Okay, so again, I'm sewing just kind of in and out through the papers. think I need to clip some of these. These are bothering me now. I like them to fray, but these are kind of in my way now. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's going to be kind of a shabby rose. Shabby little rose tag. And this will look really cute, like clipped to the top of a page in your journal. And you can even add a little label like down here. And you can put a date there. That would be really cute. Okay, so I think that's nice. I think that's cute. So see how you can take one tag and you can, or one idea, and just change it up, and you can get so many different looks with it. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay. There, we fixed it. Okay, so now again, I'm gonna trim some of these guys off. So I like them. I like all the little, I like the fray, but it has to work for the design, I suppose, to soften the edges and things like that, but I don't want it to be like in my way. Okay, so I think that came out so cute. And so again, you can change up the back of it. You can change up the top of it, the little pieces that you add. Like this one I did a bow. This one I just did a little, this one I did a tie. This one's a bow. This is again a little tie. This one's a little tie. Actually, it's a longer one. And see so how they can all kind of vary, but they all look so pretty. And then here's this one too. And so here they are. And I think they will be really cute in a journal.